Okay.
You're going to make something sweet?
I am. Today we are going to make a crustless coconut pie, gluten-free and basically sugar-free. I am, and I'll tell you when I get to the recipe. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry. Good afternoon. And I made a coconut pie, just a regular crustless coconut pie. It makes its own crust because you put flour in it. I made one today to take to a friend of mine that was not feeling well, and it looked so good. Roy and I, we lusted after that pie. So
You got that right.
it just looks so good. So I'm going to make us one. I'm going to take the traditional recipe and I'm going to try to make it gluten-free and sugar-free. So, and I'm using unsweetened coconut. And because I'm using unsweetened coconut, excuse me, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons extra of my sweetener. So we're going to start out with 3 eggs in this recipe. And
so $10 worth of eggs, right?
yes. Whew, I'm telling you. Isn't that the truth? Okay, that's 3 eggs, and I'm going to beat them really good. I made one similar to this for Thanksgiving, but this is a different recipe, so I'm going to try to make it gluten-free and sugar-free. I'm going to beat my eggs really well. And into this, it calls for like a dash of salt, and that was a good dash. I'm putting butter, and it's salted butter, so it calls for a half a teaspoon of salt, but because I'm using salted butter, I just put like maybe less than 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna go ahead and put my butter. That's 2 tablespoons of butter. Now that's salted butter, and I'm gonna stir that up really well. Now, oops, excuse me. It calls for a 1/2 cup of sugar in this cup right here. It is 1/2 cup minus 3 tablespoons. No, 1/2 cup minus 2 tablespoons of my swerve sweetener. I put 2 tablespoons of sugar in here. And the reason I did that, this is unsweetened coconut. I don't think the swerve would sweeten it as much as the little bit of sugar would. So I put 2 tablespoons of sugar to make it taste sweeter because the coconut is not sweet. It's just something I'm trying. And if this really turns out well, then I'll make it again with all swerve. So, okay. Gonna stir this up real good. Now that was 1/2 cup minus 2 tablespoons of swerve. Then I added back the 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. To that this is 1/3 cup of gluten-free flour. So I'll mix this up real well. Can you get it?
Oh,
looks good already, doesn't it?
Looks like lemon.
I know it does. And it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we love vanilla. It smells, the one I made for my friend, it smells so good.
Did you tell them we love vanilla?
I did. We love vanilla. Okay, now, calls for 1.5 cups of milk. I didn't have milk today. So I just took evaporated milk, which is canned milk, comes in a can. I added half milk and half water. And that makes it, because your evaporated milk is kind of concentrated, so that made up for the difference in, so a half a cup, half water and half evaporated milk makes about the equivalent of whole milk.
Now, if I was making this many substitute changes out working on the car, you'd call me a shade tree mechanic. Are you a shade tree cook?
I guess I am. All right, it calls for 2 cups of coconut, and I want you to look at this coconut, baby. This is unsweetened. It's called flake coconut, but it sure is. I mean, it's really
right.
It's real fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm,
there's not much to chew there, is there?
No, because it's not like your regular sweetened flake coconut. It's more like grated or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm probably about to blow some of y'all's mind, and I know you're not, a lot of people don't think so. You're not supposed to taste the raw eggs, but oh my. That's good. That's really good. It's sweet enough. You know, sometimes if you put too much sugar, it almost has a burn to it. Because you put so much sugar, but this is really good right here. So I think I'm gonna have more than this one. I have lightly sprayed my my pie plate just in case. And I'm gonna do it like this because all of this may not go in this pie plate. I think it will though. So I'll just pour it in there now. I didn't want to
overfill it.
I didn't want to overfill it, so that's the reason I started out like that. Boy, doesn't that look good? And I'm not going to put any. Usually, when I'm making a coconut pie, I would put some little coconut on top. But this coconut rises to the top, and your custard is all underneath. So I don't have to put any extra coconut on top. Okay, 350-degree oven. For about 50 minutes. That one this morning, I cooked 50 minutes and it was perfect. Golden brown, beautiful. So I'm going to set my timer for 50 minutes. Clean up my mess, and in 50 minutes, we're going to have us a good coconut pie. Let y'all taste. I want y'all to look here. Roy has already been in my pie.
I have. And I ain't sorry. Look at that.
I said, honey, wait a minute. I got to get a picture. But I want to show you. No, move. I'm trying to get it's not the same texture that it would be if it was sugar, but it is delicious. It's not overly sweet.
Wow.
It's really good. It's still real hot now.
It's beautiful too.
It's hot, baby.
It's hot, Rose.
Is it good?
That's good. That is good.
What you got to say about the texture?
The texture is great. The last one you cooked that was coconut and pecan, sort of separated into a thicker.
Kind of like this one. If you can see the top and the bottom, it's two different textures. And I think that's just the way the swerve
The coconut floats up to the top.
The coconut floats to the top.
Makes this more like it's not bread, but more like a bread.
And then your custard
is down in the bottom.
Your custard is on the bottom. And it's really, really good.
Here, there. You can see it right there.
Okay. I'm going to get
See there?
All right. There is the custard. Yep.
And this is thicker. The coconut floats to the top.
Yep.
This is delicious. Now, she only used about 2/3 of the sweetener total. And only 2 tablespoons of that was sugar?
No,
Not?
no, because it's unsweetened coconut, I used a little more of the sweetener to make up for the coconut not being sweet. I only put 2 tablespoons of sugar in the whole thing, but I put a little bit more than it called for of the sweetener to try to make up for the difference in the coconut not being sweet. And it did. It did just what I wanted it to do.
Many times, the mother of a home is cooking for the whole family. Or if you're trying to cook low carb and feed the whole family, you run into something. The flavors of the artificial sweeteners are not the same to your children and family as you might be used to, because you're maybe on a strict low carb. So what do we try to do? We try to come up with solutions that would allow you to greatly reduce the sugar and just use enough sugar to cover up the taste of artificial. There is a little flavor difference for artificial. So by doing this, she reduced the volume of sugar in this whole mixture from probably, what, 2/3 of a cup if you were just using sugar.
A half a cup.
A half a cup to 2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
So now, as you cook this, it is much, much lower carb for the whole family. And so the whole family can have some. You can have a slice also.
Yeah.
As long as you're not trying to eat
half the pie.
Which is, my problem. But
okay. Well, I'm glad it turned out. So I love y'all.
That's good.
Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Try this. It's really, really good. And when it cools off, it's going to be even better.
It's not super sweet.
No, it's not super sweet, but
the artificial sweetener flavor is gone. So
yes.
you've got it.
Okay. I will remember, food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. Love y'all. See you next time.